So I told you I have kind of been like not discovering Shaolin monks, but just kind of it resurfaced in my life recently. Just like last week, the whole I am not who I was and how powerful that was.
Yeah.
So this week, by the way, Spanish, good to see you.
It's good to see you.
My name is Michael Sharkey. You are Spanish. We are the hosts of Let's Get Real. And every week we have some pretty real conversations, just like today.
I love it.
But one of the things that I caught from the Shaolin monks was this phrase, I am not behind. I'm exactly where I need to be.
Yes.
And that's 100% true. However, if we think just through the lens, especially I think this happens to all of us, but I know it happens to men, is myself. I've like, did my life pass me by? Am I more put it to this way? Am I too late?
Okay.
Have I passed my prime? Whatever these very egoic, society-driven failure points are. When I read that, I was like, no. Like, I'm exactly where I need to be.
Yeah.
So I started I was walking the dog, and I suddenly realized wait a minute, I am exactly where I need to be. Which then framed it is everything I'm doing in my life today setting me up for something really awesome tomorrow?
Always.
Always. Now, I'm a human being. I walk around. I have insecurities just like we all do. Mm-hmm. So it's easy to let those thoughts start to take over and they chip away and they're like, oh, you're not good enough or whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
You're a piece of jerk.
Yeah. All the trash talk we talk to ourselves. But man, I was I was walking my dog and I stopped because I was like, wait a minute. What if everything I'm doing today is actually just setting me up for something that's really amazing that will happen? And take out of the equation everything that we've kind of talked about time is not linear and all of those things. But just to put it in sort of the surface of the life that we all live and the struggles that we all have, man, I just had this moment. I was like, holy something, because I'm exactly where I need to be. I'm doing some really amazing things in my life right now that are setting me up for just some even more amazing things next. And then I reframed my life over the last, 20 years. And I was like, everything I was doing 10 years ago set me to be to where I am today. So just imagine how awesome it is going to continue to be. And it totally, vibration went up, got super clear on it. I almost sent you an audio note.
Ooh, I would have loved that.
I would have loved it. I love it when I should have done it because I always tell you to send me audio notes. But dude, I had a real like a moment, a true a download, if you will, of just yeah, man, this is I'm not behind. Age is just a number.
Yeah.
Those are just constructs. And I totally was like, boom. And I was like, let's go, life.
Yeah.
This is good.
So yeah, I love those. Those moments are special.
Mm.
Those moments are really special because that is when you just kind of, it's like a combination of gratitude, acceptance, being present, surrender. Mm-hmm. And it's so easy to get caught up in the little things and we become so self-involved that, yeah, it's very easy to say, I'm not in my prime. I passed up good opportunities. I'm never going to have this. I'm never going to get that. But everything that you've gone through, you only see from your own lens. So you never get to see how what you've done has impacted others and how that ripple has become a tsunami in somebody else's life.
Yeah, totally.
And that kind of sucks because you don't ever get to see it from the other side. But it happens. It happens all the time.
To all of us.
And, they say it and it sounds so cliche and stupid, but just asking somebody how their day was that looks sad and taking a minute to talk to a stranger who is at their wit's end and then feels better because you talk to them. Well, now they're not going to blow up a building or something. You know what I mean? Or they're going to help somebody. And that's how the world works. That's why you're not alone. You're involved in a much bigger organism. We are cells of a much bigger body, and we're all necessary.
Yeah.
All of us. The good, the bad, it's all got to be here, or else it wouldn't exist.
When I was living in New York, I was on the subway one day, And it was weird because it just happened to be, it was a quieter subway car. And I was sitting across from this woman and I could tell she had a really bad day. You could just see it in her face. And I in New York subways, everybody's like on their AirPods and their own. And I just looked at her and I was like, hey, are you okay? And it wasn't like, are you okay? Do you need medical help? I was just like, hey, like, do you want to talk? And we ended up like literally from Manhattan to Brooklyn. She just started talking. She just literally started telling me about her day and what was happening at her job and all this stuff. And she went to get off on our stop and she looked at me and she was like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for just checking in. I really appreciate that. And I was like, sure. I was like, you just look like you kind of needed somebody and whatever. And I never saw her again because it's New York City and there's a bunch of people there. But I was like, that felt pretty good. And all I did was just like, man, I'm getting an energy from this person that she probably just needs to check in. So it was pretty cool.
That's beautiful. That's what it, to me, like that's the reason we're here. If you want to say we have purpose or a reason to be here, I don't care about, you think you're supposed to be here to, become a CEO, any of that trash. We are all here to gently remind each other that there is a much bigger picture to everything.
Yeah.
And all we have to do is care a little bit about somebody else in those moments.
Yeah.
And then boom, an explosion of energy happens and it just ripples out into the world.
So I want to read something that came across my Instagram like the next day after I had my epiphany, but I want to go to Brandon real quick. Brandon, welcome to Let's Get Real. What's up, brother?
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, what's up, Brandon?
No, this is super surreal. I honestly don't know the station usually. I barely have presets in my car.
Yeah.
And I left the house to grab some food, and this message obviously just found its way to me in that moment where I think I needed to hear it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's awesome because many years ago I used to be into meditation and yoga, and I just felt like exactly how you've been describing, like everything was aligned, and I finally felt awakened to my highest self. And somehow, just slowly but surely, like every day, I kind of started slipping away from that light,
Yeah.
And it's just been really hard to get back into that mindset. Like I could barely meditate now for more than 2 minutes. It's just been hard, but this conversation, just hearing it, has been very refreshing to know that it's still out there, and people that sound like you or like even just around me, they're all thinking it and feeling the same way. So I just want to say thank you.
Oh, man, you're welcome. You're very, very welcome. I'm glad that, I don't know, man, some would say that the universe put you in your car exactly when you needed to be in your car to hear exactly what you needed to hear, as a reminder that you're still good, man. It may be a little tough, but you're still good. You still got this.
You beat me to it. I was going to ask him why he had to get in his car, like what happened that made him need to go get food. But don't forget this, man. You went through this period of, we'll call it darkness, and it was necessary because now when you get back on that horse, you're going to be way stronger, my guy, and you're going to be way more focused, you're going to be way more centered, and you're going to be way more in tune with what your soul is telling you rather than before when you're just kind of dabbling in it.
100%. I do agree with that. And I want to be clear, it's not even darkness. It's kind of just this weird surrealness of none of this matters. And I'm really just the non-material things matter. It's once you wake and don't really go back to sleep per se. Mm-hmm. And you're just why are we living this way? We're truly the only organisms on this planet that do not live by the abundance of the nature. Water is given to us. Plants give us food. We literally don't need anything, yet somehow we created these false boundaries. And I don't know. It's just weird to always have that on my mind. And I'm when are we just going to collectively wake up?
I know.
We can't. That's the game. That's the game, dude. You got to have balance. We can't all wake up. We can't all be asleep. You have to have balance. So enjoy your ride. Do your destiny. And just know that you're just as important to this machine as the guy who looks at us and goes, "You're idiots. I got my CEO job and I make millions of dollars a year and I'm going to be on my yacht with a bunch of girls this weekend." That guy is just as important, and we need him just as much as we need the Shaolin monks.
Yeah, 100%.
I love that.
All right.
Well, thanks again.
Hey, thanks, Brandon. Have a good weekend, man. All right, so I want to read this really quick before we jump into break. Just like Brandon got in his car and heard us talking, I go through this whole thing where I'm like, man, I'm not behind. I'm exactly where I need to be. So I mentioned last week that podcast that I was listening to with the hospice nurse.
Oh, yeah.
That podcast is called the Mighty Pursuit Podcast. And I'm not plugging the podcast, but it's pretty good. And to their credit, their Instagram game is pretty spot on. So I got this yesterday. I'm just going to read to you because it's freaking awesome. You ready?
Yes.
You are living in a mental prison, and you built it yourself. Every limit you believed, every dream you downsized, every deadline you placed on your own potential, and the cruelest part is you thought you were just being realistic. And we're here to dismantle your prison with 50 years of rigorous science. I knew you'd enjoy that.
Yeah.
We are all getting our ass kicked. And we've convinced ourselves this means we've lost, that we should quit, or that it's too late. Every birthday is a reminder that our best days are behind us, but this is an illusion. And to understand, we will travel back to 1979. In 1979, legendary Harvard scientist Dr. Ellen Langer attempted a radical experiment. She took a group of elderly men and placed them in a retreat that looked, sounded, and completely felt like 1959. Same furniture, same magazines, same music on the radio. And then she gave them one instruction: live your life as if you were 20 years younger. The result? In just 1 week, the men's strength improved, their memory sharpened, their posture straightened. Some of them even looked younger, all because they behaved as if they were younger. This wasn't about aging. It was about how our perception of age becomes our prison. Mindset changes everything. Age is just a number, but it is the story you attach to that number that determines your future. It's not age that limits you. It's what you've been conditioned to believe it means. You could be 35, meaning you're behind, and you stay paralyzed until you're 40. You could believe that 55 means you have no purpose, and you stare at the wall while life passes you by. You could believe that 70 means it's all over and it's time to start thinking about a nursing home. Or you could challenge everything you were taught to believe. You could embrace the truth. 35 just means you're a baby. You've barely begun. Your wildest dreams are still ahead. 55 means you finally have space to reinvent yourself, to learn, to do all the things that you put off. 70, well, the most powerful chapter is about to begin. You get to choose whether you limit yourself. This isn't flattery. It's science.
Yeah. That's beautiful, man.
That's good, right?
Yeah.
And full credit to the Mighty Pursuit podcast. I read that. Dude, I read that and I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Let's go. Like, let's effing go.
Yeah.
Life.
Yeah.
What do you got?
We're at the dance now, man.
Yeah.
We're dancing.
Yeah. I felt the vibration be super high at that point.
What if it all works out?
What if it all works out?
What if you're right here, right now, because you're supposed
You're
to be
exactly where you need to
Yeah.
be.
And tomorrow, who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares?
Doesn't matter.
The past doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. So I wanted to read that to you. We have one break left, but I share with that because I do think that's a real thing. I think we all put these limitations on ourselves. I'm guilty of it, of just going like, man, what have I done with my life? It's over. It's like, man, it's not over. Dude, it's just begun.
Yeah. Well, it's easy to, it's so easy to just give up. It really is. And it's sometimes I say that, but I also enjoy giving up, like I enjoy just being like, I'm not going to deal with it. I'm just going to let it go. But that's, it's part of it too. You can give up every once in a while. You could keep going if you want to.
And you're still exactly where you need to be.
That's the thing. But that feeling of when you hit the nitrous and everything just hits and aligns and you're like, the car is spinning wildly out of control and I got my hair down and the windows down and I can't wait to smash into something because it's going to be Dope.
Yes. His name is Spanish. My name is Michael, or as it would be, Shark. You are listening to Let's Get Real on 102.5 The Bone.